Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. As usual, I'm your host, Jim. And good news, we're back with Mike. Hey, Mike.
Is he at? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
How'd that operation go?
It was good, man. It's good. I got a couple more to go before the full sex change, and I'll be good to go.
I was going to say, I already noticed the difference.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, unfortunately, all our other guys didn't show up tonight. I guess they had another mission.
yeah.
But we'll see them in future episodes, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to explain to you how this all works. Because
Yeah, I don't think you have to explain it to anyone.
well, maybe you got a new viewer out there. I don't know, especially
Yeah.
since we're moving toward the Rumble over YouTube because YouTube's insane. I don't know what's going on YouTube, but I don't think we've got a new subscriber in YouTube forever. But
We're still on YouTube.
yeah, I'm sure we are. We're just buried in some pile somewhere.
Yeah.
But this is how it works. I mean, these are our opinions. These are real headlines, and we get to share our opinions and see where it goes from there.
Sorry.
So you ready?
I'm ready. Let's hit it.
All right. Los Angeles and Long Beach ports to try to alleviate backlog by fining shipping companies. Yeah, you got to break that down because even I read that and I was just like, wait a minute.
So
Yeah.
if you find them, they're gonna go away. You know what I mean?
They're going to stop coming, I guess.
Yeah.
That will
Yeah.
definitely alleviate the backlog.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's
Stop
true.
bringing your stuff here or we'll fine you.
Yeah. These deliveries that you were bringing here before, stop it. Go find another port to bring them in. Ew. I don't know. I
It's,
need more.
it's weird to me because, I mean, I
Yeah.
think we already saw that. I don't know if you saw that, like down in Florida said, hey, our ports are open. Bring all your stuff here if you want.
Yeah, just like the governor said about the police officers. From New York and all those other, was it Seattle? He said, hey, we'll pay you $5,000 to come here. We need good officers. I was like, wow. First and foremost, $5,000 is not going to get you anywhere. You know?
It might get you the train ride there. I don't know.
Yeah, but none of your furniture, nothing. No. Yeah,
Just bring
we'll
your
see.
badge and gun.
That's it. And put them to work. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I like to see how that one works out with the backlog by finding shipping.
You know, it doesn't surprise me, and I think we've talked about this before with the whole backlog over there. Like California, we already know is some crazy state that likes to go and do weird things that affect the rest of the country. But there's still confusion whether it's drivers or, the shortage of, the supply shit. Like there's so much confusion going on what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understood, it was the drivers actually truck drivers can't even work there because remember they passed that law about making them all the artists and all that stuff had to be employees.
Mm-hmm.
And that affects these guys too. So now they can't do that. And I don't know, maybe it's some of the vaccine thing too. I don't know, the mandates. Like, I don't know what's going on over there anymore. But I don't see this as a good solution.
Yeah. That's if you got a backlog in Amazon, do you find Amazon or I don't know. That's just weird, man. It's just weird.
Yeah, like, maybe do that with drug dealers, right? There's a huge demand for fentanyl and, they can't get it in here quick enough, so let's start fining them
Yeah.
for not getting it in.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Anyways,
that's weird, man. That's a weird one.
I don't get it, but
Yeah.
we'll move on over to the next one.
All right.
Hospital exec who says he was fired for being a white male awarded $10 million.
I don't know the specifics about that, but okay.
I do know some of it. I did see something. They were talking about the guy had a position in like I don't know. I think it was like what was he doing? Like advertising or something. I don't know, something like that. And they came in and they wanted to make it more diverse. So he lost his job and then a woman got promoted, and then they brought in another woman who was a person of color. And he even said in court, he's like, both of those women are qualified, but neither of them are any more qualified than he was. So for him to be fired was clearly not about them being more qualified. Apparently, a judge, jury believed it. $10 million.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the reverse of that, right? Plenty of times. So if the judge and jury found this to be the proper solution, then you have to support it on either side. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't have an issue with it.
And since we don't know the details of the trial, even maybe the case,
Yeah.
Since we don't know the details, we can't make an opinion on whether the jury was way off bounds or not. But I mean, to prove you were fired for being white, I would think that would be a hard sell.
Not to that white jury. I mean, not to the jury. Not to the,
Whoa, wait.
don't know anything about
Both
it.
sides share in the jury selection process, so you can't tell me they're all just white males.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, that's all we could find. COVID,
Yeah. I like it though. I like it. Well, that's just, justice.
Well, then think about that though. But $10 million payday for getting fired.
Yeah. I wonder how long ago. Not that it matters, but I just wonder how long ago it was. Oh,
And
let me see.
if I remember,
$6 million. Wow.
if I remember correctly too, I think he was fired right before his 5-year anniversary. That automatically pay raise or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that. So they were probably skimming him on both ends. I think that whole hospital thing needs to go somewhere. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So for all you out there, wait to get fired. Don't quit.
Yeah, there you go.
let
it just proves, well, I mean, this is only one case, but it proves that if you really believe you've been wrong based on skin color, hey, sue.
Right.
Yeah, sue.
And I'm not a big fan of suing mostly because I think it's just money but if this is a hospital, I'm assuming the money's coming from the hospital. So it's not like a suing the city or suing, government, where it's our taxpayer dollars that are paying out these things. So that's one of the difference between here. If it's a private company, if the hospital's a private company and they make their own money, this is going to hurt their pocket.
Yeah, but the hospitals, they have insurance for these things.
Sure, but they pay those premiums.
Like malpractice and things like that. But
right.
Not this one, but they have insurance to protect them. So, hey.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to say though, that's like when you're suing the government or you're suing somebody who's using taxpayer dollars in court, the impacts don't mean much because they just go to another fund of taxpayer dollars.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where they're not going to do that again, I would imagine, because they're not going to be able to handle a bunch of lawsuits like this.
Right. Or they'll make sure they cover their tracks better next time. So they,
well, they're going to change something, right?
Yeah, they're well within the boundaries of the law, let's say.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a good one. That's a good one. What's next?
That's what I said. I was surprised that it actually went through. That 10 million was pretty high to me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So next one. State Department now issuing passports with gender marker X.
What's the X for?
Whatever gender you want, I guess.
I don't get it.
Like, I don't care. You know why? Because see, here's an angle. Let me show you this angle. I started thinking about this. I totally think it's foolish. I think this whole ridiculous nonsense about, more than two gender, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. But I also like privacy. So when I renew mine, I'm going to put X, because then they just have to guess. Or maybe there's some extra step they have to take or some buffer that I get for them not knowing what I am. So I'm going to use it.
Let me know how that works out for you.
Well, I mean, what is it for? Like, really,
that's the thing.
You hand it to somebody at an airport. You hand it to some foreign national government, and they look at you and they have to say, "Oh, well, you're an X. Oh, okay. What is that?"
Right.
Like that's what it is, buddy. Look at me. This
Yeah.
is an X.
Yeah. I- Is there one? I can't remember the passport so well. Is there one for male and female already? Is
Yeah,
it
I'm
on the
pretty sure.
passport? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
male
pretty
and
sure it's
female.
got. Yeah.
So now you just put an X by if you want to say you're male or female or other.
It, I would sooner just prefer the undecided, not X. Just
Undecided.
write undecided. Let them assume
Or
for
why
you.
not just refuse to answer?
No, let them. Well, because you think about it, like this is the United States with a lot of this nonsense. Not that it's not worldwide, but do you think you're going to go on a trip to Germany or some other country with a passport and they're going to look at you and say your gender's X?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like some countries don't play those stupid games. Not that it matters to them what your real gender is, but they're trained to look at this stuff and say, okay, this looks fake.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So they're going to look at that and say X. Well, you know, I don't know, man. Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe
You
they
know what
care
it
less.
is? They're gonna look at that X and say, "Oh, American." Okay.
Well, it should be a U.S. passport.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I hope that's their
That's that
first
stupid
cue.
American stuff. Yeah. They
Yeah.
don't even know what they are anymore.
Yep.
That's the way they talk.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
so on one hand, it's like, does it really matter? And on the other hand, it's like, just take it off then. Take the
Yeah.
gender off.
Yeah.
Ask everybody. Ask them their pronouns. Ask them their gender. Ask them whatever race or nationality they want to be. Just ask people stuff. So no longer do we need
True.
to prove anything or provide any. Just
And my
ask.
thing is look down.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean? It's it. You
well,
look down. Where you at? Whether you're in the
that sounds
process.
convincing, but they're
If,
not.
if,
They're not buying that.
yeah, but if you're in the process, then hey, you still gotta have one or the other. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the way I feel, man.
Stop that science talk. All right,
Yeah.
stop that
Yeah.
nonsense science talk.
Yeah.
This is something about feelings, not about science.
Oh, you need more than just an X then.
Exactly. Maybe triple X.
Yeah, triple X.
That means you hand them your passport and say, "I'm ready to go."
That's it. That's it.
All right, we don't want to beat that one to death.
Check
Get it?
all of the
Uh-huh.
above. Not bad.
Or you just
Not
look the
bad.
guy in the eye and say, "What do you want me to be?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, what's
Like,
your
I
name?
mean,
What do you want it to be?
like think about it. Like I know we're joking and laughing about this, but think about this. Like when I worked in the airport, there was a thing that we had to do called a search.
Mm-hmm.
Now, men could search women, but it changed the technique because you didn't want to seem like you were groping somebody.
Right.
So if you walk in there and you say you're one gender and you got parts to another gender, guess what? You're getting groped.
Yeah.
And then you won't have a leg to stand in and say, "Oh, he groped me." No, because this is how we search the same gender.
Yeah.
So there is some implications to this. So, and now what are they going to do? They're going to just have a universal search, but then what do? You sacrifice safety for offending somebody because of the gender? Like, what do you do?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
going to come.
Sacrifice safety
I mean,
for
think about it,
fear
right?
of offending someone.
Right?
Perfect.
Isn't that what we do, right?
Yeah.
You want to search a man, you got to get up under those nads there. You got to touch
Mm-hmm.
that taint,
Yep.
Guy says he's a woman. He's got that. He's going to have a woman touching up in there. That also could be used, the wrong way too, which is why I
Yeah.
said I'll pick X.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. They'll say, what's your gender? I'll say X. Who's searching?
Yeah. Then they have this big
Anyways,
old dude come by and then he's gonna search you.
like, no, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. Now, if it's a shorter, more petite man, it'd be like, all right. Anyway, let's move to the
Yeah,
next one.
let's go to the next one.
DA, criminal charges on the table in Alec Baldwin shooting.
I was just talking to my daughter about this one.
So elaborate. Let's talk about it because we haven't talked about this at all.
Right. She asked me if I heard about it. I said, yeah. And then she said, what are my thoughts on it? I don't have any. But it depends on what he was doing at the time. Was he, were they rehearsing his role? and he pointed it at her and pulled the trigger, okay, it's an accident. But if he's just sitting there before, like during a break, and he's just playing with it and pointing, what do we always say? Don't point the weapon at somebody. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So if he was BSing, for lack of a better term, and then that happened, yeah, you have to be held to accountable to some extent. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You should have made sure the weapon was safe before, and if it was doing his role, then I say somebody gave him that weapon, and that person should be held liable, depending on the process. And they might just be sitting on a table and he has to walk by, pick it up, and they probably don't care. But somebody put the live round in there, if that's the case.
Yeah, some of those details did come out.
Yeah.
That apparently some of the crew walked out because they were just lackluster with their gun safety already, like it happened twice
Mm.
already. And then they were talking about he was holding the gun. My problem with the whole thing is still when you say rehearsing, like the only thing I can think of, and I've done video and film stuff, so the only thing I can think of is was he pointing it at the camera? Like, because even when you do filming, it's special effects. You're not really pointing guns at people. You're
Mm.
not shooting guns at people. It's made to look like you're shooting at people. That's why they use
Right.
angles and things like that. So, what business did he have pointing at any person anyway? Period.
Well, maybe
Like,
that's the way they rehearsed it. I don't know.
but that's what I'm trying to tell you is first of all, you talk about the gun safety rules, right?
Hmm.
Anybody who uses a gun, has to know gun safety, right?
Right.
And then just the simple fact from cinematography, why would you be pointing a weapon at anybody, especially if you're not in a film? You're not actually filming it.
Hmm.
Because could you not be just as effective? Say, okay, you want me to point it at him like this, or do you actually have to point at somebody and say, oh, like
Right.
this?
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just very careless and reckless for sure. So I would think there's even sort of a more of a manslaughter angle. I wouldn't say he tried to kill somebody, but who knows? That could come out too because they were mad.
Really?
Well,
What
maybe
if
not
they
intentionally. There would be no
no, what if
intention.
they rehearsed this like, I don't know, 10, 20 times, right? And
Hmm.
nothing happened. That's just the way they rehearse. I point the gun at you. That's what the set calls for. But this one
Right.
time, yeah, this one time, and then however the live ammo got in there, now Jim is taken out. But we did the same thing we've done 5, 10, 20 times before.
Yeah, based on your set of facts that you're presenting here,
Yeah,
yes. If it
yeah,
was actually during a filming, during a shot, a sequence, whatever they were doing,
yeah,
and it happened, yeah, I can totally understand that. But even
yeah,
still, then there's accountability. Somewhere down the line, who checked the gun?
exactly.
There's always going to be some accountability
Yeah,
somewhere,
yeah,
And even for him, as his sake, I don't know if I would put it on an actor to do gun safety because that's why you hire armorers and people
yep,
like that.
yeah, yeah,
So I would give him some slack, but all through there has to be some accountability. Somebody had to
yeah.
be accountable. But I'm still concerned that he's pointing it at people. Period. Like I don't think there's a need for that in cinematography. Even if you're
Okay.
doing it on a camera, you can easily set a camera, click record, and the cameraman can all move while you point at a gun at the
So
camera.
you're not just talking about him; you're just talking about in general.
In general, yeah, that's
Yeah,
why you don't
yeah.
see this very often because
Right,
directors and all those they take those precautions
right.
because they
Oh,
respect
so
what a
that's
firearm could do.
oh, okay. After the Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee incident.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's when they get complacent and stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because there's no shot that you're going to get that's any amazing shot that you can't do with technology today without putting somebody's life in danger.
Okay.
Like you can literally set up a static camera and shoot the lens out of it if you wanted. You don't have to have somebody there. You just hit record and move away.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So I don't
yeah.
know what they were going for. And it would depend on the shot too, I guess. Because if
Yeah.
they had to be there, like moving with the scene or something, and maybe somebody messed up and moved the wrong way and got themselves in a situation like that,
Mm-hmm.
that could be a point too. I don't know. Like I said, as more comes out though, the
Yeah.
funny part to all of it to me was, I don't like Alec Baldwin anyway. I think he's trash. But when he made that comment about what did he say about you should know what it feels like to shoot an unarmed person or something, an innocent person. Yeah, he
Hmm?
made that comment. Yeah, back in the Trump era. Yeah, You look it up.
Okay.
People are calling it poetic justice, but I don't believe that. That's the right term for that because
Hmm.
somebody lost their life for his stupidity.
Yeah.
But I sure as heck hope he's sitting at home thinking about what he said and how stupid he sounds right now.
Yeah.
So either way, I think he's going to go do something for it. I don't know if he's. We'll
You
see.
think you gonna do some time?
Well, I don't know. He's gonna have to face criminal charge. I mean, DA says criminal charges are on the table, so I don't
Mm.
know. Depends on how much money he's got, right?
Well, I would agree with the DA. Criminal charges are on the table until we get more, facts.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they've got some information already because, like I said, there has been information coming out.
Yeah. But
So
you feel like he should be charged with
I
everything that
feel
you
that there's
see.
got to be negligence here, no matter what. I mean,
Mm.
whether he goes to prison, I don't know, but there's got to be some negligence. There's definitely going to be a civil suit, and he's going to pay there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely going to pay in civil suit because that was negligent. Period. Negligent discharge, even call it whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, where does the onus fall? Where does it fall on? Does it fall on the person who handed you the gun?
Yep.
Does it fall on the armor?
Yeah, and it depends on that person. What's the process for getting that firearm to the actor? What's the
Right.
process?
I
Now it
heard
could
the
be
assistant director handed it to him.
oh, just damn. Okay.
That's what they said. So, like I said, I'm only going some of the stuff
Yeah.
I heard already. It sounds terrible for Alec Baldwin already.
Really?
Yeah, because apparently, like I said, this has already happened on the set a couple times. The staff, the crew literally walked out because of unfavorable conditions or something. So he was
Hmm.
probably already mad because he was trying to get this done and his crew left and he had to replace the crew with certain people. And yeah, so he was probably his temper probably had something to do with it too. So who knows? He was probably, acting like some tough guy. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right,
Anyway, we're beating that
what's
one to death.
next?
But
Yeah, I think you
gun
want to beat
safety,
him to
my
death.
son knows the rules of gun safety. And you notice too that they're not using this as some sort of gun talking point, right?
Yeah, take all the guns.
Yeah,
You
because it's a
know.
lefty, right? It's a lefty making a movie, right?
Yeah.
An anti-Trumper at that. So, all right, we'll go to the next one. New York City moves ahead with legalized heroin injection sites. Why you got that shocked face? Because New York is just like a mirror of California. It's not like a surprise.
That is. I'm
You
sorry.
think so?
So this is where people can go and legally possess illegal substances and inject themselves. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
California already did this stuff.
Mm.
Remember, they were even caught in the hotel rooms supplying this stuff.
No, I
Remember
don't
when the
remember
COVID
that.
started? Yeah, when COVID started, they moved all those homeless druggies to the hotel rooms, and they were letting them do it all in there. Yeah, it's not a surprise. This isn't a surprise
Wow.
to me. And if they're trying to legalize it anyway or decriminalize it at least, then why would it surprise you?
Wow.
So at least now you know where you can go do your heroin.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you better be vaccinated though to get there.
Yeah, but they also have to well, wow, man.
I wonder. I
Legalize.
wonder if these people are vaccinated. The heroin junkies that go there.
I don't think it matters.
Well, you're supposed to be, right? Aren't in public places or in all those places
Yeah.
in New York?
Yeah, it's gonna be crowded. That 6 feet rule is not gonna. It will not apply.
So it's a Friday night, Mike. What do you want to do today? Oh, let's go
Yeah,
to New York and shoot some heroin.
yeah. Where?
Wonder if the
I
wonder if
got
the
the spot.
dealers are in there, right? The dealers are in there, just be like, hey, who needs more?
Yeah, yeah.
And then the
Wow.
cops come in and be like, no, I'm just ready to shoot it. I'm ready to use it.
It'd be like New Jack City.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
crazy, crazy,
That's
right?
not gonna last. That won't
I
last.
know, man.
No,
California gets away with its crazy stuff.
no, it won't last. Nope.
All right,
Nope. 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 Nope.
I'll
I don't
take your
believe
word
it.
for it. All right, ready for next one?
Yeah. Next one.
Condoleezza Rice branded foot soldier for white supremacy by former MSNBC hack. The hack is obviously an opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
I do remember she was she on The View?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see her on The View when she said
Yeah.
all
I
that?
thought she did. I thought she did excellent. Personally.
Well, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
problem. It
yeah,
doesn't fit the narrative.
yep. I would like to see some like sometimes I would like to be on some of those shows or have someone come on this or come on here and have that conversation. I was just, where do you get this information? You know what I mean? Foot
Yeah.
soldier for what? It's
I'm trying, I'm trying, when I run into vets and stuff and I get into arguments or discussions with them, that are obviously not my opinion, I tell them, come on, get on here because we want to hear it. But 9 times out of 10, well, we haven't had one yet, have we? We have some guys that kind of disagree with some major things every once in a while.
hmm
But we don't get them on here. Like, are they afraid to back it up? Are they afraid they're going to get ganged up on? Like, why are these people not? If you're that adamant about disagreeing, like the guy I told you about, I think it was a couple episodes I was talking about in the bank. He's a veteran, and he just all he talked about was Trump lying, Trump lying. I'm like, dude, Trump's not in office anymore. Like, what do you? Come on, you know what I mean?
hmm
And you know what was the worst part about that conversation? It was started because he invoked God. Like he saw a shirt I was wearing, and he said something about it. So he was trying to use God to punish Trump. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, well, are you mad at the lie, the sin, or are you mad at Trump? Because if you're mad at the sin, the lie, and you ain't saying nothing about what's going on right now, but you're only fixated on Trump, I don't know how you even invoke God in that conversation.
Mm.
So
So that means God takes political sides in America.
I
Okay.
guess he's only mad at the Trump liars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I wanted to ask you about this too because you're if you're listening on here, you can't see Mike's black. Um, as a black man, like how do you really process that? Like, because to me it's laughable. Foot soldier for white supremacy. Like to me, if I was black, I'm not, so obviously I can't answer this. That's why I'm asking you. That would almost seem like like I don't. I mean, that would be demeaning to me. You know what I mean? Like you're saying that the very thing that is completely against me, you're saying just because I make comments that make sense, you're going to call me that? Like,
hmm
how's that not offensive?
Yeah. Yes. I love you too. Huh?
I
Can
was
you
going to
hug
assume
me?
that wasn't your answer.
Yeah, give me a hug. Go on. Yay. He's waving at you. Okay. Say hi,
Good
Jimbo.
night.
Hi, Jimbo.
He said good night.
Good night.
All right. Give me a kiss.
Mwah.
All right. Bye bye. Yeah, Diva. Just wanted to get on the camera. Hey, but no. How do I process it? I don't. I've heard things like this in the past, and it doesn't surprise me. Like you said, it goes against that certain narrative. So everyone has to be lockstep, same thought process, same beliefs, same political opinions. If not, you're on the other side. You're following those people like Jim. And I've stepped away from that years and years ago. So because I always say this, all you gotta do is travel.
Yeah,
You know, oh yeah, I'm not talking about out of the country. Just all you have to do is travel in the U.S. and trust me, like minds normally gravitate towards one another. You
of
know,
course. There's safety
but
there.
yeah, but if you have to gravitate towards one another, that means that they're not always around each other, right?
Right.
So if you're open minded, you'll be able to receive a whole lot more. And my whole thing was with me, I used to listen to the people that say on the right, and huh? Yeah, go ahead. So I used to listen to people on the right, and my main goal was just to prove them wrong, prove them wrong, and a lot of times I could. But then I said, well, let me do it to people on the left. I was like, well, damn, nobody's really speaking the truth here,
Right.
right? No one's doing it. So they, how we always say, they all do it. They all are corrupt, and that's why I align myself right in the middle.
Well, some of that's human behaviors, though, human instincts. I mean, some of
Yeah.
that, we're out for survival. Survival is our biggest instinct, right? So we do what it takes to survive. And when we feel threatened, we might go along with one narrative just because we realize the mob around us likes that narrative. So we feel threatened. We might not want to put ourselves out there because we're afraid to, be alone or be the opposition, or, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people do things because they're afraid. And as long as people support it, it allows them to be afraid of whatever it is. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's bad,
Right.
because they're trying to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I'll just leave it there. Yeah, I agree. But to me, with anything, especially when it comes to politics, social issues, or whatever, the average person injects themselves into the storyline by race,
Sure.
camaraderie, and class.
Well, that's a significance thing. They want to
Yeah.
feel important. They want to feel significant.
Yeah.
My only problem, or where I could say I draw the line, is when you're faced with information that can directly disprove what you're saying. Then you might take a tactic like, I've even done it before. I'll change this subject, or I'll bring up a totally irrelevant point, or, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to admit that fact disproves what your beliefs are.
Mm.
That's where I draw the line. And once you realize that you're faced with something you cannot, disprove, then you have to look in yourself and say, maybe I'm wrong. And a lot of people don't want to say that.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, they can't be wrong.
No.
And I get it, because I listen to Mike all day and he's always wrong. So you ready for the next one?
Next one.
Unearthed Wuhan lab docs show bat lady isolating coronavirus strains for direct human infection. There's a whole lot of COVID stuff we ain't talked about lately, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But let's
Isolating coronavirus strains for direct human infection.
let's just look at that right off the bat. Like, what was this in the beginning? You couldn't even say it was a Wuhan virus, a Chinese virus.
Right.
Oh, that's racist. That's a right. Oh, that's just a
Mhm.
conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. So they trickle stuff out, like they leak it out. So now when you're actually seeing a document from the Wuhan lab, now they can start saying, "Oh yeah, well we knew it was created in a lab. Yeah, we knew
Mhm.
that." Like, even though in the beginning they called you conspiracy theorists for that. So
Yeah.
and you see what's happening with this stuff now. They're just putting little pieces, not headlines anymore. It's more little sub headlines,
Yeah. Page 18.
right?
You know?
Because they don't want to admit that they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's the point. They don't want to admit they're wrong.
Yeah, but it's even worse to me. They don't want to admit that he was right.
Sure, but
Yeah.
even that, like, think about what are the ramifications. They're saving their ego for what? I mean, what's at stake here? Like, this could be, they try to, make all this COVID
Re-election.
vaccine stuff. Well, no, I get that. But I'm saying, like, think about this. If they just took the time to investigate the Wuhan lab theory, maybe we could have pressured China, got the information, and had a perfected vaccine already.
Okay. Yeah.
But they denied it. They denied
Yeah.
it, so there was no pressure. Well, I mean, there could have been some pressure behind the scenes, but there could have been world pressure if we exposed it in the beginning.
Yeah, but did they try to research that and get the information? Who stopped it?
I don't know, but if you're telling the world that it's not possible it came from Wuhan, then China ain't got no pressure. There's no leverage against them. Why would they
you're
give
saying
in to?
because Trump was saying there was.
Yeah, and it
Well,
turns
it
out there
was.
was.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So
Yeah.
if in the beginning they just listened and went over to China and the world put pressure, said, look, you need to release everything you got so our scientists and all the scientists in the world can figure it out based on what you already have, instead of trying to break down and backwards engineer and come up with it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they could have saved thousands of lives if they
Yeah,
just
hundreds of thousands.
been
yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
So, but you see,
But-
that's what I'm saying. So they're sacrificing human lives, but then they're trying to tell you you're the one that's killing people.
No. Yeah, because you're unvaccinated.
Right. It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. That's the American politics, man.
Yeah, that seems to be,
That's
I think that's the
American
American way, I think now.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
politics anymore. It's just people, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. You got another one?
I got the last one. You ready?
That would have been a good last one for me.
No, this one's not bad.
No, this one would have been a good. Oh shit!
Hunter Biden's paintings sell for more than Picasso's.
Get that. Oh, that's an inside job.
Of course.
Yeah, they gotta raise that defense fund. You
Yep.
know?
Navy Joe went off on this guy talking, called him finger paintings and all that.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
Well, you have to find out who purchased them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, who purchased them, and I guarantee you, just follow the money. It's coming from. Yeah, his dad probably purchased them for all we know. You know, or had someone have someone purchase them. Build up that defense fund. What the hell
And
is
you
good about his paintings?
and you know, there's also some other angle I'd look at too. If Hunter gets busted and goes to jail, they might actually be worth more.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
true.
So
Yeah, yeah.
there could be. I mean, if they actually expose all this corruption and they go down as the most corrupt, it could be worth something then.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I have one of Hunter's finger paintings.
yeah.
This is the same finger he stuck in that prostitute's butt and put in his nose on the video. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's too much. Sorry.
Too much. Oh boy.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, there's
maybe they are doing that, thinking about he's gonna be convicted later on, and the value will go up. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that wraps up for there. So we're a little bit short on we can do if you want to pull the pin on something because we haven't done that in a while. You can.
I wasn't prepared for this.
You don't have to because I was going to pull the pin on something too.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, so you don't have to. I'll pull it if you want it.
Okay,
I just figured
go
it'd be an
ahead.
opportunity because I saw a thread in one of my local, the neighborhood app, whatever the heck that thing is.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Yeah, well, I love. Sometimes it's great entertainment, but it just baffles me because it's the mentality of people thinking they're doing good when actually I don't think they're really doing good. It's the they were talking there. Somebody went in there and complained about DoorDash tips. Like, have you ever did the DoorDash or anything like
Yeah.
that? Now, there's a difference between putting in a tip and then the person brings your food and then deleting it when they leave. That's a difference. But for you to show up at my door with my food and think you're entitled to a tip, that's a little bit confusing to me because I understand these people have to work and I understand that, there's got to be some, generosity. But you have to look at the other side. Like, I'm paying for a product. I'm paying a company on top of that for the service. There's probably a tax and a fee. You know what I mean? And then you're expecting a tip? Like, what part of that is, like, inherent, like you're supposed to do it? So I think they're looking out for the drivers, saying that, you people, if you can't afford to tip, you shouldn't be ordering. Maybe that's why they're ordering, because they can't afford a car or gas. But yet you're holding them to the fire because they don't overpay for something they're already being charged for.
So, are you saying that if it ain't my kids, it's his dog? If you're saying so, are you saying that if someone's bringing your food to your door, you've already paid for that service?
I'm saying like, think about it. Like, think about jobs that don't have tips. Like, in even some countries, like you go to Japan and you tip somebody, it's offensive.
Yeah. Okay.
So think about some jobs that don't have tips. Like if you walk into a grocery store and you pick a jug of milk and you put it on the counter, it costs $2.18. All of that stuff is put in the price. So if I don't give the cashier an extra $1, she's not going to get mad at me, right? So if you have a food company that has waiters and stuff that work for tips, you don't think the food company is putting extra charges on top of your food? Of course they are. So you should be mad at the food company or the DoorDash company who's not paying their drivers enough. Because there is a driver fee. You do pay a fee, a delivery fee. If you ever order pizza, there's a delivery fee. So the tip is extra.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so to demand that, it seems a little crazy to me. To tell people that they're soulless because they don't tip somebody is a little crazy to me.
I believe that whoever wrote that was either the DoorDash driver or closely related to.
It was, and that's exactly the point. But all the comments below it, that's what they were. They were people like, "Oh, that's so bad. You shouldn't order if you don't have the money to pay a tip." And these drivers work for a living. And I'm like, well, what do you think it costs for the food?
Yeah.
You don't get the food for free. There's a tax. There's a driving fee. So the company DoorDash is making money, and they're probably paying them something too. I don't know what they're paying, but the tip is extra. If you don't like your job because you don't make enough money because people aren't giving enough tips, get another job.
Yeah.
Don't yell at people to tip more. Like, what are you, out of your mind? But I do. I understand the other side of the argument. Like I said, I do tip well, especially if I get good service. I'll tip well because I appreciate what people do for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm already paying an overcharge for the food because I got to pay for advertising, staff, all that stuff. I'm paying extra for the food.
Right.
So I can cook it at my own house. But anyways, that was I had a problem with these people because they just kept going on and on. And I was just like, you know what? They sound like they're doing a real good defensive thing by attacking tippers and defending drivers. But in reality, you're attacking tippers who don't have to tip.
Yeah. You're trying to force people to tip like you do.
And to tell them that you shouldn't use the service if you can't afford to pay a tip.
Maybe the service was bad.
Well, even if it wasn't,
Yeah.
maybe all you got is $20 and you don't have a car. You know what I mean? Your food came to $19.95. What are you going to do?
You shouldn't be using that service.
Right. You shouldn't be ordering food because you don't have the extra $3 to throw on top of the $19 you're already paying for.
$3? No, you got to get more than that. An extra $5.
It would be 3, 4, something like that. 20%.
$5 minimum.
Yeah.
$5 minimum.
Right. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then why don't you just tell the people to charge $5 for whatever, and then you don't have to take tips at all.
Right.
And the tip would be extra if I feel like you did a great job, but take the obligation out because I think it's crazy. But anyway, I've been going on to that but longer than the show, so I will cut it right there. I'll take a tip and be quiet. All right. Did you have something you can save for the next episode you want?
Nah, I'll save it.
All right. Great. So thank you, Mike, for showing up, even though you're probably suffering from the surgery. Thank all you out there for watching and joining us. Thank my dog for distracting us to make sure we have some background noise. And until next time, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.